you guys click at once? You and Kubrick?
Well, I was very lucky because they'd been preparing Barry Lyndon for many months in England, and when I came on board, Stanley decided, for whatever reason, whether because the Clockwork Orange was getting such a pounding in England in the press, and that to move on and make the film in Ireland. Whether he fancied a little break from England for a while, I'm not sure. But anyway, we should have been in Ireland anyway in the first place, but Stanley originally wanted to make it all, within an hour of his home, which of course proved impossible. So I was lucky enough to sort of be the first person to go out to Ireland with Ken Adam, the designer, and one of the art directors. And we flew out to Cork, and then we started, set up in Waterford and started scouting, and then Stanley came over with the family. And so I used to go out every day with Ken Adam, and Stanley used to drive, and so we went for weeks looking at locations and sending photographers out all over the countryside, looking and photographing stuff, and so I got to know Stanley very well on all those trips. So it was sort of an easy introduction for me on a very casual way, rather than the sort of full-on working on a film set all day long.
Yeah.
So it became a lot easier for me. So I got to know him pretty well, and we got on well. And so, he asked me then to take over when David left after the first 6 weeks to carry on shooting for the next year or whatever it was we shot for.
Was there any delineation between your personal interactions with him and on and off the set? Because, I've heard that the working situation with people that you are friendly with can be much different from your off time alone with him. Or was he the same personality on and off the set?
Yeah, Stanley was pretty much the same, I would say. He was a lot more relaxed during pre-production and post-production, Stanley. He really didn't enjoy the shooting so much. He preferred the pre-production and post-production. He didn't like being tied down to the actual shooting and having to commit himself to do something. But, Stanley was a very tough taskmaster, which you have to be in the film industry to make it to the top. I mean, the guys who are considered difficult directors like James Cameron or Michael Mann or Michael Cimino, Stanley, John Gilliman, these sort of guys, they know what Hollywood's all about. You've got to be tough, otherwise you're going to get the shit beaten out of you by studio guys and ruthless producers, So to get to the top, you've got to be tough. And Stanley was a very astute businessman and a very tough taskmaster, and he pushed himself pretty hard too. I mean, Stanley didn't. He was totally focused on what he was doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.